Hello and welcome to One Club Champ. This is Aylesbury United. We are in the year 2030. We have just finished the 2029-2030 season. So here's a quick update for you. I nearly forgot and went through to the next season without kind of giving you how the whole season kind of finished out. So let's go to the league table, and the first thing that you're going to see is that we finished in 6th place, which is an amazing achievement for the club. We pretty much held steady for the second half of the year, always in the top half, and never really flirted with relegation at all. So we finished in 6th position, which, as you can see, is a place in Europe. So the Ducks are going on tour next year, and we will be in the European competition. I think it's called, The UEFA Europa League. So we're going to be in that for the first time in the club history. Finished on 64 points, managed 19 wins, which is a significant improvement on last year. Had 12 losses and managed to score 80 goals. The most we scored were against Bristol City with 7. But as you can see, the difference between the top 6 clubs, with Tottenham, who were champions, conceded 32. We conceded 60. So we had a goal difference of plus 20, which looks like something that we need to really address if we are to go any further next year. But to be honest, top 6, finishing ahead of Arsenal is an incredible achievement. So let's go to the squad. We're going to go through the players so that you can see who played really well. Serafin Malero, the goalkeeper. Just a pretty good season, 6.99 rating, played every game in goal for us. He's currently at 13 million and he's a first choice goalkeeper. I mean, there are better goalkeepers out there because he's only a 3-star and he's pretty much reached his potential, but he will do. Our right back is Loic Mbayo. We bought him for 6 million from Paris Saint-Germain. Again, played 36 out of the games, 7 assists. Got an average rating of 7.09. If you look at his progress chart, he went from a 2.5-star player up to a 4-star player in the season. And he has reached his potential ability and sitting at 20.5 million. So an exceptional season from Loic Mbayo. Aditya Sikan. Here is our Romanian centre-back who has now got 13 caps for his country. We bought him for 4.8 million. He's 14 million now. Again, he's still got a full star potential. And if you look at his progress chart down here on the right, he has only improved across the year up to 3 stars. Got an average rating of 7.08, 25 games played, 3 goals. And he is going to be very good at 21 years old. Thomas Espina is our 26-year-old centre-back, ball-playing centre-back. And as you can see, we gave him a little run of games. He's got 20-odd games that he played. Other than playing with 21-year-olds, he's one of our more seasoned players at 6'4", and he's got some good passing skills. So there. Let's move on to Ezekiel Carrizo. Again, a 23-year-old. Up and down season for him, which is maintained with only starting 10 and coming off the bench 11. Average rating of 6.69. He's got a value of 8.75 and still a half-star potential to go. But as I say, in our formation with attacking fullbacks, and he's a kind of a no-nonsense fullback, he's always going to be just an option off the bench. Here's our full-time left-back, which is Gerson. Now, he played 28 games, 9 assists. 7.17. If you look at his progress chart, he has gone from a 2.5-star up to a 3.5-star at one point in the season. He's valued at 27.5 million. And if you look at the clubs interested, Paris Saint-Germain and Brighton have major interest. So we've set an asking price of 40 million at that point. We'll see if an offer comes through. Mafongoa Maloleki, again, just plucked out of nowhere, Orlando Pirates, and has now gone on to make 107 league appearances for the Ducks. Started as a 2.5-star potential at the start of the season and finished on a 3.5-star. He's worth 19 million. And if we go to his transfer status, now look at these major clubs that are in for him. He has a release clause, as you can see up here, in 60 million, only in clubs in the UEFA Champions League. Major interest from Atletico Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, FC Bayern, and minor interest from Man City and Norwich. We will only let him go if a bid comes in for 60 million. But Maloleki scored 3 goals, got 6 assists, played pretty much every game. Paul Stewart is our 21-year-old. Again, we signed him for around about, let's have a look. We signed on a free transfer, so that's pretty good transfer kind of buy-in there, because he's now worth 13.25 million. He started 17 games, got a 7.12 rating, and progress kind of stayed steady through this season. But he's got great potential, 5-star potential. He's only up to 2.5 stars right now. Our loanee, Andreasen from Juventus, an exceptional loanee, to be honest, and we only paid 8.75k. He's a 5-star potential, but we'll go back to Juventus. Juan Carlos is our DLP. Again, doesn't really start. He started 11 games, came off the bench for 9. But if you look across all of the competitions, always getting above a 7. So he kind of doesn't really... He exceeds his current ability of 2 stars and potential of 2.5 stars. He's on nearly 60 caps, or 60 appearances, I should say, for Aylesbury, and popped up with 3 pretty decent long-range shots, that obviously turned into goals over the year. Let's look at Luke May. Luke May, great progress. Started the season 2.5 stars, finished at 3.5 stars. The guy should be an icon at Aylesbury. I'm not sure if he is yet, but he's played 155 league appearances for the Ducks. Nearly 30 appearances, 7 goals, 7 assists. Look at that, 15 bookings in the 30 games. 7.34, and he's now worth 28.5 million. We have tried to get him back on loan for next year, but Watford have decided to keep him. So we managed to get 5 years out of Luke May and raised his profile and ability significantly. Let's go on to Peter Kovacic. Signed for £950,000. Had a breakthrough season. He is, again, look at that potential, just gone through the roof. Finished the year with 5 goals, 6 assists, 25 appearances, average rating of 7.1, and just as improved. He's now worth 21 million, and media describes him as a wonder kid. Signed for under $1 million, he's now worth in the same season over 20 million. Let's go to Jarell Alabaster. You'll see that we have made this signing permanent. He was, we signed him on loan. He was available. We decided to drop 9 million on him, so that kind of spoils the surprise on transfers for next year. But for a return, if you look, 8 goals as a left midfielder across 28 league games. He scored 6 league goals, 7.12 rating. A great season from a young left midfielder at 22. Fawaz Al-Hafi, 18.5 million. 88 appearances, he scored 2 goals. He was one of these guys that was kind of an impact sub for us, would come off, but still finished with a 7.01 average rating. Okay, Lucas Potler, here is a club legend for sure. Finished the season with a very respectable 11 goals, had 20 starts, 9 off the bench, and finished with 7.22 rating. He's worth 22.5 million. And he has some minor interest from Fulham. We're not really going to do anything unless someone offers around over 30 million for him. And probably a couple of extra million just for the Tash alone. Stamankovic, let's have a quick look at this fella. We signed him as a free transfer from Selec in Bosnia-Herzegovina. And if you look at his progress, again, he has got a 4.5 star potential. He's now worth 8.25 million. He's got all the attributes to play as a trequartista and false 9 and advanced forward. So he's done really well. He played, mainly was a cup player. and scored. He didn't score a league goal, but he scored 4 FA Cup goals in 5 appearances. And then let's go to the lad. Here he is, Marcelo Diaz-Funchal. I mean, one of the best strikers I think I've ever had in Football Manager in all of my time playing. And there was one lad who, he wasn't a regen, but Tisigalco years ago, unbelievable player. Current ability is 5-star, potential 5-star, 28 league goals in 38 games. So he played every league game, which is great as a 19, 20-year-old to have no real injury problems. 8 assists, scored 2 penalties, 11 man of the match appearances, 7.54 rating, and he is a wonder kid and has some great player traits for us. And I'm surprised no one's come in. He's now worth 39 million. And so that is kind of how our season finished. If you have a little look in the FA Cup, we got knocked out of the FA Cup by Tottenham, which was a really disappointing result. We were in the semi-final. Let's go to our schedule and let's go through it. So got to the semi-final. So here was the back end of our year. Let's start from January. Only one loss in January, and that was that 1-0 away loss, 1-0 home loss to Chelsea. We then had a fairly okay February, an amazing March where we won 4 out of 4 games, and then massive result against Arsenal here, beating them 2-1. And then let's get to this game right here. We lost on penalties 2-2. We were 2-1 up, and as you can see, Tottenham score a penalty in the 119th minute to get to the FA Cup final. And then we finished the season with an incredible result, a 4-0 win against Man City, which, maybe Man City had taken their foot off the gas and played a few of their reserve boys. But what a great result. It enabled us to finish in 6th place. So, having a little look, Marcelo Diaz-Funchal scores 28 goals. He's the top goal scorer. He has the highest average ratings of the season, and Gerson got the highest number of assists on 9. Some other, give you a little sneak peek about what we're going to talk about in the next one. As we gear up, we have been very active out there in the transfer market. As you can see, we've signed a few players here. We've got 4 more coming in. And that will be it on that part. Here is our club info page. As you can see, our 4-4-2 here is pretty much set up. Victor Bagnac has become our new hot prospect. Let's have a look at Victor. Again, signed for nothing in what was the league? The Cameroonian league. He hasn't yet made enough appearances, but he is doing very well for us. Just kind of statting up there. Some other big news, if we were to look at it, we have a new stadium coming in a couple of years. Build a new stadium right here. And it's going to be a 20,000 seater stadium in Chesham, which is not in Aylesbury. So Bring Home the Ducks hasn't worked as a campaign at all. But there you go. We've improved the training facilities and the youth training facilities. We are hoping that we can develop our own players. I'd love to bring through our young things. Another Club Vision addition here is sign high profile or high reputation players. And that must be mainly us dipping into Brazil and buying some players. We have a very healthy finance sheet looking at this, 83 million in the balance, and then we've got, basically we've got about 40 million left in transfer funds and an extra wage budget of 1.2 million, and we're only spending 700,000. So we are in a great position. So there you go. That is the 2029-2030 season. We're going to crack on with buying more players, bolstering the team. As you can see here, we got a few extra players that will be coming in. Sydney Alexander, I'm excited to talk about him. He's going to be an unbelievable addition to us. Again, been scouting in Brazil and in Argentina. So more to come from the Ducks. How can we get better? How can we get ourselves into the Champions League positions for next year and solidify ourselves as a top half team? So here we go. Come on, the Ducks. We move on to the year 2030-2031.